right to education and role of information and communication technology. Even though I can speak for hours on the school report cards .in and the district information system for education, which was last night awarded the jury choice of E 2010 award. Previously, we were also awarded E-Governance Award given by the Department of Administrative Reforms and Public Grievances of the Government of India. I am of the opinion that ICT can play a very important role so far as the right to information, right to education is concerned. Without ICT, it is just impossible to implement and monitor efficiently right to education. But I am of the view that we are not at all ready so far as the ICT, use of ICT in right to education is concerned. But at the same time, we are gearing very fast towards developing monitoring mechanism for, or a monitoring framework for right to education. Number of efforts have been made at the national level to develop a monitoring framework for right to education. One of these recent development is that we are in the process of now revising, modifying our data capture format so far as the district information system for education, of which the school report cards.in is also the part of. This district report cards, district information system is under implementation in all the 635 districts of our country. We could able to cover more than 1.3 million schools, including 250,000 private and aided and unaided schools. We cover data, we receive data from 70,000 clusters spread over 7,000 blocks of our country. At the same time, we also maintain comprehensive profile of 5.7 million teachers imparting education in these 1.3 million schools. Very recently, the Right of Children and Free and Compulsory Education Act 2009, the model rules were released by the Ministry of Human Resource Development. And through this particular act, now, we will ensure that all the children of 6 to 14, maybe boys or girls, district level or block level, at the village level, scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, minority, every child is supposed to be covered under the Right to Education Act, so that we can able to provide free access to education facilities. This could be possible through the Right to Education Act. But I am of the view that out of 189 million children of age group 6 to 14, something around 175 million children, 186 million children are already in the system. Only few children are left out or out of the school children, and in one of the districts in the Krishnagiri, right now it was pointed out that there are only 8,000 out of school children. So I am also a man of the quantitative man, but at the same time I am also concerned about the quality of education, and quality can be enhanced, improved only through the use of ICT. But are our schools ready for the ICT? Are our teachers ready for the ICT? Are we equipped well with the ICT? And when I talk about these points, I am more worried about the government schools in general and government aided schools in particular. I am also worried about the other type of private institutions, but 80%, more than 80% of our schools, of 1.3 million schools, are the government aided and government managed schools. And the situation in these schools is not at all comparable with the schools, the private unaided schools. Majority of the principals sitting here, they represent the private unaided schools. In my schools, in the government aided and government unaided schools, 1,23,000 single teacher schools are there. And in around 93.7% of these 1.3 million schools, there is no drinking water facility. Of these, of which 50% of these schools draw water from the well. 67% school is only having the common toilet. 41% is schools not having girls' toilet. Even 56% schools not having even the boundary wall. Only 17% schools are having the computers, of which only 74% schools having the computers are the functional computers. Only 7% schools are having the computer-aided learning labs. And above all, only 36% of these 1.3 million schools are having the electricity. We do not know how many hours the electricity is available. Even they do not get electricity to charge their UPS. Forget about the ICT used in the education. ICT can be used, should be used, as it will help us in improving the quality of our children. But I will give more light on use of ICT in the last part of my presentation, because the focus is here on the right to education provision. A number of provisions have been made in the Right to Education Act, and number of responsibilities are given to the school management committee, the teachers, the members of the school management committee, the teachers, and a large number of provisions have been made. And I am of the view that ICT can play a very important role. Without ICT, without the public-private partnership, we are not going to improve. We cannot develop a number of things which have been envisaged in the Right to Education Act. One important thing I have already said is the School Management Committee. It is the responsibility. It is the responsibility of the School Management Committee. Members of the School Management Committee. Most of the members are the parents or the teachers or the local community to identify the children, those who need special training, and to impart and arrange the training. Prepare the school development plan. It is also responsibility of the school management committee, not only for the 1 year, but the prospective plan of the 3 years. In the process of developing the school development plan, there is requirement in the Right to Education Act to identify project. How many children would be there in the grade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the next 3 years? What would be the total number of additional requirements, part-time as well as the regular teachers? What would be the financial requirements in the next 3 years? I do not think that our school management committee members, most of the members are the parents in the local community. They are in a position to develop the school development plan. So one important challenge here is to impart training so far as the members of the school management committee is concerned. And ICT and the private players can play a very important role. Maybe it cannot be handled independently or only by the government agencies, but the private agencies can also play a very important role. The second important component of the Right to Education Act is the neighborhood concept. A school is to be private, primary school is to be provided within 1 kilometer from the household. Upper primary school is to be provided within 3 kilometers from the neighborhood. And there is a responsibility to identify the local, it is the responsibility of the local administration or the state government to identify the difficult terrain, the landslide, the flood where the roads are not good. It is the responsibility of the government, and we are not in a position right now. We are not ready to have this information so that the neighborhood concept, which is heart of the right to education, can be implemented. We are not at all ready. But here also, the right to the information communication technology as well as the private players can play a very important role, and the use of modern technology can change the entire scenario. But sorry to say, we are not at all ready. We are getting ready, but we are not ready. The third important thing is the school mapping, which is also one of the very important part of the right to education. It is the responsibility of the state government or the local administration to do it in less than 1 year, to identify all the disadvantaged children, disabled children, weaker section children, and we are not at all ready. Some information is available in Tamil Nadu, so the same information is not available in Rajasthan. Across the country, the scenario is not like that one. So school mapping of the school is going to be a very important component if we are really serious about the Right to Education Act. The third important thing I like to make for your consideration, it is also the requirement of right to education is that we have to track the child from the birth to the age of 14, which means that continuously we have to track the child, which means we have to develop child tracking system. In few